one of the things that I wanted to address is there's a whole contingent of people out there who say, I'm not going to move forward buying something now because I don't want to get locked in at 6.5% when I believe rates are going to be in the fives within the next, 6 months, let's say. And I say that's a dangerous game to play, because if you wait until the interest rates go down, then the prices are going to go up enough to probably offset a lot of the interest rate. So in my opinion, it makes more sense to go ahead and buy because you can refinance. So talk to us just a little bit about refinancing. So I go in, I get a loan today, and it's 6.75% or 6.5%. Now rates are 5.25%, 5.5%. They may or may not get there. What do I do? Is it easy to refinance? Is it hard?
Absolutely. Super easy. And a lot less expensive than the closing cost you would incur when you buy a home. There are ways to defer the closing costs. There's ways to do a refinance with no closing cost.
Yep.
So all those options are on the table if it makes sense for that borrower's particular situation. But you could not be more right. There's data, and we could dive in if we had hours to look at it, that'll show as an interest rate comes down a full percentage point, well, that just puts that many more hundreds of buyers that are now eligible to buy the same home that you want to buy. That's increased competition. That drives price up because you got so many houses for sale. If you add more buyers, we know what's going to happen.
If someone were to want a guide that says, okay, if I lock in at 6.5, when do I need to call John back to talk about refinancing? And I would say that number is when the interest is 1% lower. But what would you think would be the nice trigger that says, okay, it's this much lower, let me call John and see if it makes sense from an expense standpoint?
1% is definitely a good guide, but everybody's situation is slightly different.
True.
So we're gonna keep the lines of communication wide open. We have systems of which we keep the buyers informed of what's going on in the marketplace, so that they'll know, hey, all right, we need to dive in and take a closer look, and we'll prepare numbers and say, okay, this is what a refinance would look like for you. Do we want to execute that refinance now? Or maybe we roll the dice and keep waiting and see if they drop even further. So those are conversations we have ongoing, day by day, month by month with borrowers to make sure that we do the best thing for them.
I love that. So, hey, don't roll the dice. If you want to buy a house, go ahead and buy it now. Then when you're in a position for rates to float down as prices skyrocket on the home you've already bought, then you can decrease your monthly cost on that, which is a win-win.